She just came in.
Hey, YouTubers.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, everybody out there. This is your girl, Linda D. Lowe, here on the Linda D. Lowe Show Girl Talk. And today I have in the studio, listen, y'all, it's about to be lit up in this joint. I have not only these fine ladies who are engaged and everything, but I also have a guy in here with me today, my first guy on the show. But before I introduce him, let me introduce you to my ladies. I have Miss Sharika up in the studio. Say what's up, Sharika.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. And I have Miss Sydney up in the studio.
Hey, everyone.
Hey. And of course, I have the real
Phil Show.
The real Phil
Yeah.
Show. Yeah. Okay, I got Phil up in the studio with me. So with all these lovely ladies here, and we are talking about tonight. The topic tonight is basically, I said yes. And like y'all know, we have been going through my book, Dating Smart, 9 Tips to Transform Your Crazy Dating Life. And this is the last chapter in my book, which is titled Going from Date to Mate. Because there's a lot of women out there that's like, well, how do I get the ring? And I'm ready to get married. Me and my babe, we've been dating for 10 years. That's a long time. But, so they're just ready to get married. So I just want to thank you all for being here with me.
Thanks for the invitation.
Mrs. I said yes. So let's just start here. I'm gonna start with Sharika. Sharika's a little bit older than Sydney. And so the first question on the floor, did you think that you would ever get married?
No, I never thought that I would ever get married. I felt like I was going to be Sarah.
Wait, Sarah was married?
Well, not Sarah. What's the other one? That's another one. But anyway, I never thought I was going to get married. I thought I was going to be an old lady just stuck in my 40s on an island just hanging out with my girlfriends forever.
Hey, which island is that? If it's Aruba, I'm there.
Hey. But I'm excited because, like I said, I never thought I would be in this place. And it's a long time coming. I mean, I always thought my little sister was going to get married before I get married. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow, somebody interested in me. Because when he asked me, I was like, you sure you want to marry me? You want to marry me?
Why you asking that?
I guess because I was so shocked that he asked me, because I'm so, what is this? I'm one of those type of women that is very conservative. I'm not one of the ones that's out there. Okay. You know, when it comes to my Christianity, it's like, look, it's the Sabbath. Don't call me at sunset on Friday. Okay. Don't call me on the Sabbath till sunset. And so with that, everybody always felt like I scared them away because I was so, they thought, oh, she just Jesus. I'm like, no, I'm a fun person. You just got to get to know me first, but I'm not going to compromise.
Right.
So, with that being said, a lot of females, I feel, they compromise a lot of things. And sometimes it's putting yourself in the right place and doing things the right way will always kind of help you get to that point. Mm-hmm. So with your book that I really, really love.
Okay, go ahead and put that.
Y'all gotta get this book. The book actually helped me to date myself and to learn myself first in order for me to be able to put myself out there and say, okay, this is me. This is what I need to change about myself. This is what I need to do. Yes. Y'all gotta get this book. And you gotta go through all of the steps in the book. Write your list. I'm telling you, ladies, this book will change your life. I'm telling you. You and God, And walking through this dating thing, I'm telling you, will change your life tremendously. So with this book, I'm telling you, when they told me I had to put myself in a place where I'm not in a I want to say, like, I was going to Buffalo Wild Wings because I'm a sports girl. So, you know, a lot of guys like sports, things like that. So, you know, football, they like, this chick is like super feminine, but she likes sports. I'm like, yeah, I like sports. So, ladies, sometimes you gotta put yourself in that because, you know, guys, they in the sports. You better learn how to, oh, okay, that's a field goal. Yeah, you better learn that.
You need to learn what
You gotta learn the plays. Yeah, you gotta learn the plays. Because I'm telling you.
Is that 6 points or 2 points?
Exactly.
You in trouble.
Exactly. I'm telling you. So that there actually helps you a lot. And I mean, and you get to learn, even though you don't know nothing, just, I mean, learning.
Take it till you make it?
Yeah, exactly. Because trust me, I was never a football girl. All I know, I came from Texas. I like the Cowboys, and that was it.
Oh, you got to go.
Uh-huh. No, both of y'all got it.
Right, they got to go.
This is Redskins nation.
So yeah. So I mean, that was my thing. So I would go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and they were always, guys would see me by myself, and I'm like, okay. And once I actually started dating, I was like, no, you need to come to my church first, and then, you know, we got to have a group activities. So, you know, like when we actually did the bowling thing, that was like awesome because everybody was there. It wasn't like.
So for those who don't know, at my church we had a young adult group where we just did stuff on a constant basis, and we used to go bowling and compete a lot, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Girls against guys. That's kind of how it was.
It really was.
We competed a whole lot.
It was. So when you put yourself out there to, you know, be in that dating atmosphere as a group, it actually makes things better for you to get to know that person and kind of see how they are, you know, see whether they're, even in the book when it says, some guys may be the type of guy that they loud and boisterous and you be like, yeah. Or that one that's like, it's all about, oh, I'm cute, I'm fine, I look better than her, so no, you don't got time for that either. Pretty Ricky, what they call them. So, you know, with that being said, you know, that's kind of how we did things, and that was like, you know, a fun thing to get to know yourself and actually get to know other guys that's there. So with that being said, you know, that's kind of how we work it.
Okay. So Sydney, tell me, did you ever think that you would get married?
I think as a child I always said, you know, oh, I'd love to be married. And then when it actually happened, I was like, in the moment, I was like, are you serious? Are you really serious? I was saying this out loud as he's proposing.
Exactly.
I'm like, so, you know, you look at your ring or people will ask you questions and you're telling the story and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm telling my story. I can't believe this is me. So I guess to answer your question, it's like a yes and a no.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like you're not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you waited all this time for that moment, and then it's like, do I really want to do this? I just got used to being single.
So let's go there, because I've said it before on my show where I'm at a point where I'm like, you know, I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm not dating anybody. I'm not even sure if I want to date anybody right now. I don't know if I ever want to get married, you know, at this point in time. And so, because I'm so used to being single, having things my way, sleeping in the bed by myself, I don't know if I can handle somebody else sleeping next to me. Like, move, you know, kind of like.
That's true. But
so those are all the things that I think about in my mind at 34, being single, where, you know, I'm just like, and then just transitioning into married life, like.
Well, if I might say something add to that, I don't think I ever thought about that, but I do know that with Evan, my fiance, all those I guess barriers and things like that, you know, those thoughts like, I don't want to share my bed, I don't want to share my money, all of that kind of like dissipated.
Okay.
And because of the person that he is, you know, I was like willing to just let go and just, you know, pull my hair down and, you know, just let him, you know, have control or, you know, share things. I mean, we haven't slept in a bed together yet, but, you know, just, there's just so many things that
She's virtuous.
I am.
Oh, man.
But there's so many things that I'm just so much more willing to do because of who he is and what he stands for. So maybe with that guy that you meet, you know,
I'll be willing.
Yeah.
I will have to see.
Well,
help me.
Well, mine is slightly a little different because, of course, being a single mom, you know, you never anticipate like, oh, she go to jail, you know, how most guys are. And so for me, when I first actually, I want to say our second date that we went on, we went to a concert. And so he thought he was going to be slick.
Okay.
We were supposed to have 2 hotel rooms. Instead, he got 1.
Oh, okay.
I said, oh, he don't know the virtuous woman that he's supposed to do with.
Mr. Smooth Operator?
Yeah, he thought he was smooth. So I said, okay, I'm a big girl.
Small man in my book.
That's smart man in your book.
I said, I'm a big girl. When he got that 1 room, I said, okay. I said, you know nothing's going down, right?
just in case you thought it
Just
might.
in case you thought it might. Nothing is going down. So he thought I was joking. So I went in the shower, came out, wrapped my hair, had my pajamas on. What? Your bed is over there.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Y'all ever seen
Jaw
TV?
drop, everything.
Jaw
Y'all
drop.
ever seen TV shows when they're probably like, in your case, sharing a room or whatever, and they put the pillow between them and they're trying to set it up and they're really trying to like, yo, you stay on your side. Don't let me see your feet cross the line. Don't let me see your hands. Don't even look. Okay?
Right.
Don't even look. So, here we have 2 lovely ladies, Sydney here and Sharika here, talking about their engagement, talking about their next phase in life. Now, for myself, I'm not engaged. For Phil, you're not engaged either, right?
Not even thinking about it.
He's not even thinking about it, okay?
Oh, wow.
So you too young for it? So we're kind of in the same boat where we're not really, you know, on that page. We're like, you know, we like our freedom, we like our space, we like our own money. Tell us, just give us a...
Oh yeah, all of that. The thing I want to know though is females' reaction to when they're being proposed to. Like, is that just something y'all practice? Is it like a spur of the moment reaction?
So like when I'm 10 years old, I'm imagining my proposal.
Yeah, like, trust me, we appreciate the reaction, but it's just like,
And
it's funny to always see the reaction that women give when the guy proposes to them. It's always genuine, of course, but it's...
Give us a demonstration. Show us. How do you see women reacting when...
Really? Really? Me? Really?
And that's exactly how I acted. And my whole thing is because I was thrown off. It was Christmas, and I'm in my pajamas because his mama wanted us to be in pajamas. So I'm like, my sister recording this.
And I saw the
posted
video.
it on Facebook.
I saw the video.
Are you serious?
Did you have a onesie on?
I didn't do the onesie though. I didn't have a onesie, but I didn't look like a night shirt on.
In the pajamas.
So would you rather like an expensive vacation type of, proposal where you guys go out somewhere exotic and he proposes, or just one of those where you're in your pajamas?
I'm very simple. I just didn't expect it to be that way. So, I mean, if we would have been like at the park, like we would go to the park, or if we were at a restaurant, or, I mean, just having family time or something.
Right.
That would have been cool, but not in my pajamas.
Not in pajamas.
Not in my pajamas.
And you had mentioned something in terms of saying, me? You want to marry me?
Right.
Do we have, as women, do we have that doubt? Because here it is, if we're dating, if we're dating this guy, for this expectation, and I know for you, it was a short period of time. For you, it was a longer period of time. So for you, I can see how you can say me, but for you can say win me. Hello, let's go. It's time. Because I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I have a friend. She's married, and they were dating for a while. And I told her, I said, what does he want to do? He needs to marry you. And I told him the same thing. I said, what do you want to do? You cannot waste her time. You either going to marry her or you're going to leave her alone. Because we got to move on. And I'm speaking like, like I was hurting because I was tired of
just in case she didn't say it, you had to say it.
Right. I had to, let her, which is, he did marry her. You made a smart move. I know you listening. And so, because my thing is, just especially when you're a certain age, you don't need to date for 5, 6, 20, 30 years before. So tell us about your experience in terms of, you didn't say why me, but it was something different.
So Evan and I had dated for, it was definitely 2 years, but I don't know how many months, so that doesn't even matter now. So we had dated, so we had talked about it. And actually, I'm the eldest, so I guess my parents don't really know what to say, what to hide, or, what to keep a secret. So Evan had talked to my dad, and my dad, I was in Las Vegas when he did, and I came back. My dad's bringing me back from the airport. My siblings are in the car with me, and my dad's like, oh, Evan talked to me. He asked for your hand in marriage. Oh. And I was just like, I didn't want to know that. Because now we start, counting. I'm like,
did you ask your dad? Well, what did you say, Dad?
No, he asked me, what do you think I said? Now, you know my dad, so I don't even remember what I said, but he just led me to believe that, he was okay, with it. So, fast forward a few months, and, the way Evan did it was really good because I'm really nosy, and I normally know everything, But on the day, he was really calm. He's always, really calm. But when he did it, I was just like, is this really happening? I'm looking around like, are you serious? Is this... Because it was supposed to be staged. Like, his friend was... what was he doing? He was featuring black couples for, like, a magazine or something. And so, they're asking us questions, and we're going on. And, it's great. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a really nice magazine. And when he asked me, I'm like, is this really happening? It wasn't like, it was expected, but I was just like...
Feel like you say, like, yup, that's the regular, typical response.
I couldn't believe it. And then, every time we hung out with our family, I thought he was going to do it then.
Right.
So, I took it out of my mind, like, okay, just stop wearing yourself out with this thing. But when he asked me, I was just, one, I was relieved, like, oh, I don't have to try and figure it out anymore. But two, I was just like, okay, good.
Right.
Finally.
Right. Did you all ever give any kind of hint in terms of, like, I want to get married? Any kind of hint, like, well, when are we going to get married? Yes, I do want to marry you. Did you throw hints?
I definitely said, if you don't do anything by 2017,
I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah,
it's
so what's that name for? They dated, how long did y'all, you said 2 years,
yes,
right?
like almost 2.5. We're going on, like, 3.
I mean... But basically, you saying that all of that time is wasted.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is...
Don't keep me waiting.
And you come to a certain point in your relationship where it's almost like, okay, you're, let's just think you're in school and you're always thinking about going to the next grade level. And then you're in a relationship and, there's certain... You've gotten to know each other. You like each other. Then you move. You like, your families like each other. Then they start hanging out. Then it's like... certain things happen, tragic events, I got sick, he took care of me, it's just like, I'm letting you in.
Right, all this stuff is happening.
And you know what? Today, a lot of my girlfriends are saying that guys are not letting me know what they're thinking, and I'm not one to lead you on. So, I'm just going to tell you up front, I have a date in mind. I didn't tell him the specific date, but I told him the year. And if he didn't do anything, then...
That's kind of how I was with my friend.
Smart.
I was like,
it's now I'm smart.
I mean, you're smart, but you was pushing it.
Okay.
So tell us from your point of view, what do you think about that? I mean, how long do you think you should be in a dating relationship before you pop the question?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if there's a definite answer to that. I mean, it seems like for you guys, you know, the 2 years was perfect. You know, the families got together at a certain point, and everybody just mingled, everybody got together on a relationship basis. And I think when that happens, you got to start thinking, as a guy, maybe I might go further. You know, I might make the next step. So I don't know if there's a specific time period, like a year, 2 years, 3 years. But I think it really depends on the family. If the family and your friends really get along, then I think it might be that time.
Okay.
I can't argue with that. I don't know about the family part. I mean, the friends part.
Well, I mean, that's an add-on. The family for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Family for sure. But I mean, it's always good if your friends
could be on board as well.
Yeah, if they're on board, you know.
My thing is this: if my friends were not on board, because I know their character, their personality, their connection with God, then I would really highly consider, like, why aren't you on board with this? And I would definitely take their opinion into consideration because it would mean so much. Like, okay,
certain friends.
Right, my close friends. I'd be like, okay, well, what's up? You know, tell me what's going on, what you see, you know, that kind of stuff. So I would definitely want my friends to either let me know. Well, definitely, let me know. So as a guy, let's just take it from the guy's perspective because we looked at, you know, y'all said yes. What kind of pressure is that on a guy to propose? Because even if she did throw hints, maybe, is it in the back of their minds or in the back of your minds that she may say no?
Yep.
Is it? Was it? Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, because, I mean, when you get to that point and you can almost tell that your significant other is going to say yes.
Okay.
But I mean, dudes get nervous.
Thank you. I just posted. He's as nervous as you are. I just posted that yesterday on Facebook.
I mean, from the time that we meet you, it's nerves. They may not show it. They may be, you know, real confident. But it's nerves. You know, because they picked you. It's nerves.
Yeah, because I think my fiance said...
I mean, hey, if they go up to you, you know what I mean?
Yes, you're right about that.
And they initiate the conversation.
Yeah.
They picked you.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
In that sense.
Okay.
Don't get me in trouble.
No, because like with my fiance, he said, he was like, I really didn't know whether you was going to, you know, say yes. I was really, really terrified because I didn't know how to come at you because of how you are. You know, you're stern, you're strong, you're confident. And a lot of times with me, it's intimidating to a guy. So they're always like, oh, but you're so beautiful. Why nobody haven't tried to date you or marry you sooner? And I'm like, I have standards, you know?
So with your fiance, he just went out on the limb, was like, you know what, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And in the back of his mind, I'm sure he had that, what if she says no? But I'm going to still go and do this. So we're going to go to this break. Enjoy this song. Remember, the topic today is I Said Yes. Join me on Facebook Live. Leave your comments wherever you are so we can get to those. And I'll be back right after this break.
Clear on radio, still live on social media.
Cool.
Any social media comments?
Yeah, they're coming in. Hold on. Let's see what's going here.
I was talking to a guy today.
Is it playing in your ear?
Yeah, it is.
This one's right here.
Alright, so, unless you're in school and trying to finish and have some career goals in mind, I don't know what that was referring to, anything beyond 2 years is a waste of time.
Okay.
Oh, who is that?
That was Larry.
I agree with you, Larry.
It should be discussed, whatever that is. Andrew Gottlieb joined from California. I'm on the app. Oh, Monica Spriggs says she's on the app.
Hey, Monica.
In the conversation.
This song is popping, yo.
I know. That's why.
Who is this?
Dang.
This is So
Show
Baraka.
Baraka. You listen to it.
So yeah, so I was talking to this guy today.
Why you
And
talking to the guy?
Jesus Christ. We were talking on the phone, and we were talking about. I was telling him what my topic was today, and I was like, this is the topic. Same message I sent to you. Was like, if you know any guys, let me know. And so he was like, guys are always nervous as well. Guys are nervous because they're not sure. They're not sure if she's going to say yes, if she's going to say no, and of course nobody wants to be set up. So just like girls say, I'm not going to approach him. What if he doesn't want to talk to me?
See, guys, I was almost tempted to say no because I knew my flaws. I knew as far as me having a child and what I went through with her father. I was like, I ain't never gonna
See,
do
and
that.
that's why we're so nervous. Because we know what we're confident in. And if we went so far and decided, you know what, this lady, she's the one, we're good. But that moment when we get on that one knee, we're like, oh man, I don't know if she's sure about this, because it's all a surprise. You don't know what they're gonna say. It's just like, all right, I'm going out on this limb, and whatever she says, I just gotta go with.
Yeah, go with it.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do. So guys don't like what they can't control,
True.
and that's one of those
I've heard that
situations.
so many times.
Yes, I have
Yeah,
too.
that's one of those
I'm a girl.
situations.
And I don't like what I can't control.
Yeah, but I think we're so
That's a
guys,
really-
they're used to
it's a
like
real guy
fixing
thing.
things.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
providing and all of that. If we can't control it, then it's a problem. Like, we get real nervous and tense and all of that. So
Okay. I'm hearing that.
The song
So-
is really playing for Facebook right now. So you can take it off and you can stop.
So-
You guys are being heard right now.
I guess I have this
Okay.
in terms of what would you do if she said no?
Oh my gosh.
That would be
That's-
devastating.
that is
embarrassing
heartbreaking.
and devastating.
Has anybody seen the Facebook post where there was a couple in a mall, and I think the guy proposed to the girl. He was on his knee and everything. There were people crowding around them,
And she said
and
no.
not only that, I think he had like a violin or something in his hand, and she like hits him with it.
yes, I saw that.
Wow.
I saw that. I was like, no way. No
That
way.
messes it
What
up.
did
That
he
must be
say?
scripted.
No way.
But you couldn't tell what he was saying, but you could
You
tell
couldn't.
that's what was happening.
Right.
So I don't know what he said, but that was pretty bad.
And then she just stormed off and
Yeah.
left the dude there. I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah.
But this is like with these women and proposing to these men now.
We're going to talk about that.
I've seen that maybe once.
There was a commercial on that in real
In real life?
Yeah.
What?
I saw that once in
Yeah.
real life.
What did you think
I'm
about
like,
it?
hold on, what is
Like, how do
this?
you, right? I've seen that too. I was like,
This isn't normal.
like, is this really gonna last?
I just don't know how.
I don't think he should say yeah.
I'd have to understand how that relationship started.
Did he say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said yes. He said
Oh
yes.
my
He took it like a
goodness.
G, but I'm like, yo,
He took it like a G.
he did.
She was the G.
Right.
I don't
She
know.
was a
He lost
gangster.
that card.
I don't know
Yeah,
because
I agree.
can't really judge because I don't know how the relationship started.
It doesn't matter.
Regardless.
Would you okay? Because
I don't know what the terms
Are
are.
you a man in a relationship and he gonna be the girl?
there are some
Nah.
guys.
Nah.
Now.
Okay,
Question for
I
you.
was just wondering.
Question for you.
No with that.
Would you allow a woman to propose
Nope.
to you?
Not me. Mm-mm.
But if it's a surprise,
No.
you would?
No.
By all means, why not? Why does a guy have to be the one that proposes?
You're right though.
Well,
There's an order.
do you see your comment? What was her comment when you said he chose her? She was like,
She's like, oh
what?
really?
Who? What? Exactly. We chose each other.
We chose each other, but still.
The fact that we chose each other.
Yes.
And
I
why
understand
that's
that. So if that's the case, then what
Yeah.
makes it the point that the guy has to do it? If we chose each other, why can't you come out and be like, I'm gonna push the envelope? Here we go, push the envelope.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you do
If
have
we
a
chose
point
each
there.
other.
Yeah.
Now, if I chose you, now I'm gonna push the envelope.
Exactly.
But you're not saying I chose you. We chose each other.
She probably came at him at the beginning of the relationship. It's like, yo, we in
Okay,
this.
so case in point. My mom went after my dad.
Okay.
She proposed to him?
No.
Oh.
She called him and she left a voicemail message. Now this is like in the 80s, so they didn't have cell phones. So she left a voicemail message on his house phone, and he was living with his brother and their family. So everybody knew who my mom was. So they talked, and that's how they got things kind of started. But my
was like
dad,
the
of
ultimatum
course,
type thing, kind of maybe, or
no, I wouldn't say it was that, but
more so she was putting herself out
Yeah,
there.
she
Like, hey, you know, I
initiated
just want to let
everything.
you know that I am
I'm interested, right?
So here's the thing. Not problem, but here's the thing. This whole argument. The woman typically is the one dropping hints.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the
Dropping
time.
hints. So why not just
Propose. And I wrote a
Homeboy, right?
you're dropping hints?
No.
So let's talk.
Go
How
ahead,
many
get
kids
on
you want to
one knee.
have? And what do you think? We've been dating for 2 years. What do you think? Just do it and see
No,
what he says.
I'm not the woman to do
It's
it.
a too big of a risk, right?
No.
Then why would you?
And I would say
No,
this.
I wouldn't.
I
I know he would. I know he would have said yeah. But the type of person that he is, I think that would have made him feel like
less than a man.
yes,
Yeah.
like emasculated
Yeah.
him or something.
What did it
Right,
make you feel?
right.
Because you was like, no, she would
No,
not
because
propose.
it's something that I want to do.
Oh, okay.
I want to do it, but
You want to do it
I
when
don't
you're
know if
ready.
I.
So if she came to you,
feel-
you would say no, and then turn right back around and propose to her.
I might do that.
Now this is all in the clouds, so okay, be careful.
Play it back.
Nah, I ain't
Right.
doing that. I don't know how I'd feel though. I don't know how I'd feel. Man.
So you telling me that it would not make you feel less than a man? You wouldn't feel like your friends would clown you, your family or whatever. You wouldn't feel none of that. Like that would happen.
Nah, not really.
So if
Not
he
really.
asks, does that give me permission to be like now like the leader in the
No.
relationship?
Mm-mm.
Because honestly, to be completely honest, no matter how much I fight Evan, I love when he leads.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
actually feel
Yeah.
like I need that.
Exactly.
So if I ask him and the role, I'm gonna be
60
all
seconds.
over the place.
60 seconds.
Because nothing is sexier than a man that leads.
For real,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
that is really
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. It would just make me feel like she loves me that much, and she values me and my company and everything that comes with me just that much to say, you know what, I'll be the one to
That
take
she
it.
would get down on the knee,
Right.
one knee, and be like,
Right.
Phil, will you marry me?
That just feels weird though, like you saying that.
You decide.
I'm like, alright, yeah. I'll have to say yes.
You'd say yes.
I'd have to say yes. But then like do it over.
Do it, right, propose to her.
Yeah.
Like, this is how it's supposed
Because
to
I'm
be
not
done.
gonna embarrass her either.
Now I've
Right.
seen that happen though.
I won't
Where
embarrass
they're
her.
Girl will
embarrassed?
propose to him and then he'll turn around. Yeah.
I just, yeah,
Yeah.
we wanna, yeah. I don't know if I could, drop hints. Yeah.
Yep, drop hints, good.
Oh, wow. The break was crazy.
Yeah.
You are back listening to the Linda D. Lowe Show Girl Talk, and we were in here just talking about, as women, ladies, I want y'all to chime in. My number is 888-BRIGHT, BRITE 86. Call me, ladies. I need you to call me now. I need guys to even call me. What would you do? Guys, this is the question for you. What would you do if your girl proposed to you? If she got down on one knee and proposed to you? And ladies, would you propose to a man? That's the question. Call me 888-BRIGHT, BRITE 86. I want to know. So we was talking about it. So here it is. For me, all over social media, we have seen these posts with these women proposing to these guys. The first post y'all I saw, right, of a woman proposing to a guy. The guy looked exactly like my nephew. Hair, butt, everything. Like, cause it was from a side shot. And so I'm looking at the picture like, is that? I know it's not. And literally, I had to literally stare at that picture for like 20 minutes. that told me that it was not him. But this girl's down on one knee. She pulls out the ring. Okay, here's the ring. Yeah. And she's down on one knee. And he's looking down at her. And when I saw this picture, I was cringing on the inside. I was like, you embarrassing us all. But then I thought about it. And I said, you know what? I think women propose all the time, just in a different way. They drop, like Brian was saying during the break, they drop hints again. So if I'm in a dating relationship with a guy, I'm going to drop the hint like you did. If you don't do it by a certain date, then I'm out. That was your...
Oh my gosh, that sounds so bad.
That's what I was trying to say.
So that's to me...
kindly.
Right.
It don't matter how you say it, though. It still comes off the same way.
So we have a caller. Hello. Hey. How are you doing today?
Hey.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah!
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You go, girl.
Okay, that's where I was going.
Yes, I can see that.
After what she would do if he says no.
You might just do it. So, question, because when you said that, of course, the topic or the story, the Bible story that came to my mind first, because usually when we propose, you get down on one knee and you're kind of like at their feet, was Ruth. We talked about that last week. Was Ruth. Was that her? Do y'all think that was her proposal to Boaz? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a way.
And
Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh. Right.
And not,
If you know who you are, you know the God you serve, you know your position, you know your place as a woman, I don't see why that would be,
A problem.
too much for a woman.
Right.
and I would say, yeah, it is another side.
Right. Right.
What is it that stops you from
Asking.
in your heart the person you want to spend the rest of your life with? Is there really, a really great flag that in the back of your mind, like the young man said, you go to this proposal knowing that in the back of your mind that she could say no. The same thing I think.
Right.
Those with them, and I think we as women, we push so hard to make the things happen that we do not accept rejection well, so that's why we don't act.
Right. And thank you so much for calling. Continue to listen on the app here. And I agree. We don't accept rejection well. So therefore, we're not going to put ourselves out there.
Right.
And you want to say something, Sheree? Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, a lot of times it's because of things that we had done or had happened in our past kind of not allow us to want to put ourselves out there in order, like when you've been hurt so many times in the past when you have been dating, it kind of make you feel unsure to go out there like, do I really want to say this to this guy?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to hurt me like the other one. So sometimes you're unsure, even though you found this amazing person that you feel comfortable with. And that's kind of like with me. When my fiance proposed to me, I was very uncomfortable due to the fact of my past, of what has occurred in my past. You know, I went through a lot of things, you know, domestic violence, a lot of different things. So I was really uncertain that someone is capable of loving me. So in order for me to really put myself out there and go after this amazing person that's been there for me, who made me feel safe, it's a scary thing to really just say, will you marry me? I know you've been there for me, but will you marry me?
Yeah, because again, and even last week, it didn't pop and click in my head with the Ruth analogy or story that I just connected with the lady who just called in and trying to say, well, was that her marriage proposal to Boaz? To, you know, let him know that, hey, I'm interested, you can pursue me now. Do we really, as women, initiate it all?
We do.
We do. But not the official.
Look at Brian is not.
Right.
I think because again, that first proposal, that dropping those hints, and I wrote a newsletter. Y'all go check it out on my website, WinnieDLowe.com. And in there, it says that we drop so many hints. We give ultimatums: if you don't marry me by this time, then I'm going to have to leave. When are we going to get married? You know, just different things that we put out there already that isn't necessarily the traditional proposal, but in a sense,
That's proposal.
It's like we're letting them know, hey, I'm ready to do this thing.
Without taking the actual plunge.
Right.
Of actually saying will you marry me?
Or getting on one knee.
But you can put it all out there. Monica even says women proposing to men is out of order. Laree says, no, I don't think I would, but I'd be willing to talk about it. That way there wouldn't be any question as to where I stand. See, it's that whole thought of maybe being let down.
Yeah.
You know, so if you can put the hint out there, then you might as well just be bold enough to say,
will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
But even though I get the story of Ruth and how she did it, and the caller when she called in, I get that. I'm still like, I don't know if I can put myself out there to be rejected. I don't know if I can.
Oh, but the guy can put himself out there and be rejected. What?
Yes.
That's his job.
Yes, it's the guy's job. Yes.
Be rejected.
So you all get to have your hand on the buzzer.
Right.
No, see?
That's
not right.
Because he might be.
Men deal with rejection better than women.
No. What if the guy has been rejected all his life?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, he's got issues. He definitely got issues. Poor guy.
Something's wrong with it. But I mean,
what if the girl's been rejected all her life?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
How is that? Because she's not putting herself out there by asking the question, will you be my boyfriend?
Exactly.
Well, we have no. Some women will say, let's go out on a date. Some women will say, can you be my boyfriend?
It's the same percentage of women who would actually do a proposal. It's very
No,
small
I
percentage.
think-
A little bit
I
higher,
don't
but
know.
still.
Because I would say, I probably would say, would you be my boyfriend?
No,
but
never that.
check yes or no, maybe so.
I did that. Oh my God. I did. I gave her a little
Check yes, check
piece
no.
of paper.
We did that one time. I ain't gonna lie. We did that one time in a restaurant as grown women. I said, y'all, let's just play a little game with the waiter. Let's just write on here, do you like me? Yes or no? Maybe so. Circle.
Y'all funny.
But I would ask a guy out on a date. But would I ask him if we've been dating for a long time to marry me? Probably. I don't know. Let's just say that. Now, would I drop those hints? Definitely. I'll drop those hints. Be like, we've been dating so when are we going to get married? Do you want to get married? You know, if you don't marry me, then I would definitely drop those
Women
hints.
just do that regardless.
They're always dropping hints.
Yeah, always.
So, have you changed because before, when we was during the break, you were like, no, I will not have my woman proposing to me.
I haven't changed.
You haven't changed, so you still feel...
Like I said, it's something that I want to do.
Okay.
But I'm open to it. I mean, it's cool if that happens to other people, but...
So here's what I see Phil doing. When his woman asks him, will you marry me? He's going to say no. Just so he can ask the question himself. Is that what your plan is?
Yeah, no.
Because you want to have control.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? About control?
Not really. it's not about control, but I wouldn't embarrass her either.
So you wouldn't say
So
no?
I'd probably say yes, and then redo it
Okay.
Like in that same moment
And-
or later?
later. Nah, it has to be later. It has to
Okay.
be something that I planned and all
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I just don't feel comfortable letting my woman propose to me.
Uh-huh.
I can't wrap my head around it.
But you wouldn't feel less than a man.
You wouldn't feel awkward with her having that ring in her hand.
I would feel awkward. I wouldn't feel less than a man, but I'd feel awkward.
Especially if she had a diamond on that ring.
I'd be like, hold on, man.
Oh my God.
Nah.
I went to Jerry.
Yeah, if she had a big old rock on there, I'd be like,
So Monica says that's a man's job to lead. Me asking for his hand is taking his role away from him.
That's what I was saying.
Man got to stand up and take their rightful position. Wow.
Okay.
who said it's a man's job?
We did.
Who's it? Oh,
The women.
Oh, right.
See, that's
exactly.
Downhill.
Very downhill.
Man's world, huh?
No, but like I said on the break, I mean, you have to really think about this. If a woman asks a man, what happens after that? Is he gonna then kind of fall in the back?
Right.
Is he gonna lead the family, forward spiritually? Emotionally.
But too much of this is hinging on the proposal. The proposal has nothing to do with his role in the relationship.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
All of a sudden now we've just gone all the way
I agree
down.
with that.
No.
So explain a little bit more because
It's
I'm
a
trying to
question.
understand that.
It's a question. You've asked me questions millions of times. Where are you going?
Yeah, but the question
Where are we
opens
going?
up it opens up a lot more.
Oh my goodness.
No, it doesn't. You're
It
overthinking
does.
it. You're
Am I?
overthinking it.
So all of a sudden, a
Will
man
you
does
marry
not
me?
propose. He now shirts on his duties to be a man, a father, a husband,
I think
a leader.
that's how women look at it, though.
Yeah.
That
That
is
you
how I
are
look at it.
less than a man if you let a woman propose to you.
So he takes 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. Y'all just dating. He's
Oh,
less of a man.
we ain't gonna let you go there.
No.
So you're gonna let him go. So
Not
you force
this
him,
girl.
Right.
force him into proposing to you.
Not
When
this
you gonna
girl.
propose? When you gonna get married? You might as well just propose to him
Those
then.
are the hints. No, I need to drop these hints so you can go buy that ring.
For real
If
though.
not, are you not gonna
Why
be
is it
serious?
5 years though?
Because he's being a man. He's being a
Then
man.
you're not really serious.
He's
You're not
not.
really serious.
How you
It's
serious?
time for me
It's a
to.
big
He's
decision.
taking his time to
Trust me.
really understand his decision.
No, because it didn't take very long for you guys to be sure about something that you want to do.
Exactly.
It doesn't. Because if you like a car,
You
if you
gonna
like
get
a woman, you are going to
You
pursue
going to.
them.
Well, that car's a whole lot different than this one.
Yeah.
Because I can sell that car later.
And the car don't talk to me. Alright?
I can wreck the car. I can give it away. I can't do any of that with you.
You're right. You're
So
right
it's
about
a bigger
that.
decision.
Exactly.
It is a big
Give a
decision.
woman away.
But the way you guys rationalize things, I feel like it should not take you 5 years. If you're unsure, maybe you need to take that time away. Maybe you need to break up.
Be by yourself. Yeah.
Exactly, so you
Yeah.
can
And
see how
rethink it.
much you benefit from being with.
So here we go, right? Because so again, yes, some women do see it as the man being basically taken out of his role by the woman. And y'all are saying no, it's not like that at all. Now, I mean, you're giving me a little bit more light in terms of how to see it from a different perspective. But I'm still like, I don't know if I could go the full route. Maybe I could go the full route and proposing to a man if I knew that he was going to propose back to me. Because Brian was saying during the break in terms of we're going to make the decision to get married. Because at this point, or how I see it is that the man is asking the woman, definitely, to marry him, and she says yes. And so I guess if you want to take the woman wants to take the initiative, she can turn back around like, do you want to marry me? Just because she wants to hear a yes from him. I don't know, which I think.
And I guess so, because like when my fiance first asked me like, will you marry me? And when I looked at him, I was like, are you sure you want to marry me?
And he was probably like, yeah.
And when he was like, yes, I don't have a question on it. I was like, you sure you want to marry me? So, because I was
So a yes and a yes.
stage that he said yes too. So I was like, okay.
So maybe that's where we can propose then.
What is that?
So when he proposed to us, we say, "Are you sure you want to marry me?" And when he says yes, that's the that's the right.
That's a counter proposal.
That means that he wants to marry you.
Don't get out of
I
here
don't
with
need to
that.
ask him any other question.
For me,
Y'all gotta come stronger than that.
for me,
Because I know my flaws. So with my flaws and things like that, that was my whole thing of when I asked him, are you sure you want to marry me? I didn't put everything out there that you know everything about me, you know all my flaws, and that was my way of saying, are you sure? You know what I've been through. You know what I have on my plate. Are you sure you ready to go down that aisle and work through this with me?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my insecurity, making sure that I was going to be secure with this man that I'm going to agree to marry. So that was with me. And I don't know if it's because I have a child and I'm older that I feel that way. I'm not really sure, you know, if it's like our age gap of why I think like that. But yeah, that was really my reason for it.
Well, praise God for you, because I might have been like, you're making me second guess. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When you marry, you want to marry me? Well, I don't know now. Let me take a few minutes here to take that back.
Check my calendar.
I'll discuss it with you.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of have a problem with Monica though.
You checking it out on Facebook, people? Oh my goodness.
Like, you know her name? I mean,
I know, right?
Monica now.
Don't feel sorry.
We're gonna have to have a discussion.
So tell me your
Off
beef.
the cloud.
What's your beef with her?
I don't know, cause she just wants me to just do everything.
Do everything.
that's what you feel?
No, I'm,
Because let me tell you, honestly, let me tell you, women want the man to do it because a man that there's nothing sexier than a man that leads.
Yeah.
And yo, if you want to make a woman melt, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is so true.
That's
Tell me.
exactly
That is
what
so
you
That
do.
is so true.
So true.
As much as aggressive as she may be, as strong as Brian is over there rolling his eyes.
No, but it's true. I've had this conversation with friends.
It really
It'll
is.
be the smallest. Oh, okay. I have a pity party or something, right?
Mhm.
And I'll be talking about it with my girlfriends, but I'll be telling them about the situation, and I'll tell them that the minute that he says, you know, Sydney, you need to, you know, kind of calm down or something, inside I'm like, oh, like inside I'm like,
Exactly,
ooh,
like you
okay,
know.
I'll
Right,
calm
exactly.
down. But outside I'm like, no, I don't want to, and then I'm like,
That's so true.
but it's you just straighten up and you just like, okay.
Okay.
The minute they put their foot
So
down.
here's the tip for all the guys. Okay, all the married guys. Let me
Yeah, we
put it like
yeah.
Reminder.
for all the married guys. If you want to get your woman, you want to get some sex or whatever, lead. Because there it is. Because women like men that lead.
Yeah.
Basically, you're hearing it from women. You
That's true.
You
I guess.
Yeah.
have y'all? Okay, so I'm a different world fan. And on this particular episode, when Dwayne and Whitley were already married, they had an argument or whatever. And Whitley went back to her friend Kim that was in the dorm now. And she's, talking about how he gets on my nerves and da-da-da-da. And all through the day, they're mad at each other. And then at the end of the day, Dwayne finds Whitley in the dorm. And he goes up to her and he says, look, woman, we're married now. We need to work this thing out. And he starts walking out the door. And her face is still like, whatever, you get on my nerves. And he's like, let's go. And so she grabs herself like, okay, he said let's go. And she runs right after the dude, okay? And so with no hesitation.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah. Me, I
It's so true.
Okay.
With no hesitation, she goes after him. I mean, she was mad at him all day. As soon as he came down there and was like, listen, we're going to work this thing out. Let's go. She was like, yeah, I'm game. I'm in. So, yes, that's why I think women want to see men propose.
Yeah.
Because it represents that leadership to them. And they're like, I need to know that you can lead me. I need to know that you can be, even like the caller was saying, I need to know that he can be the priest of the home with no doubt in my mind that he can always have that position. And for some women, having that position is you proposing to her. That she would never propose to a man. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This is my thing. If a woman wants to propose to a guy, by all means. By all means, do it. Now, I may talk about you. And I may even ask you, how did you feel? Yeah. What were you feeling when you was proposing? You know, most likely I'm a definitely ask her, what were you feeling? Were you nervous? You know, all those questions. But for those women who don't want to propose to a man, don't do it. But I know you're still going to drop those hints. I know you're still going to drop those hints and say, hey, when are we going to get married? My clock is ticking. You know, all this stuff to just drop those hints. Oh my goodness, this show has been, it's been fun. Yes, it's over now. Oh wow. So I just want to thank you all for joining me here on the Linda D. Lowe Show. Oh my gosh. So this topic today, again, was based off of my book, Dating Smart, 9 Tips to Transform Your Crazy Dating Life. You can go on Amazon.com and get this book. Let them know, Sharika, they better go get a copy.
You better get a copy. You see my rock?
Okay, this girl is getting married because of my book.
Nice too.
That book.
And so go get a copy.
That book.
This book.
That
and
book.
so go get a copy. Come visit me at www.lindadlowe.com. Follow me on social media. I also want to invite all of my ladies out to Ladies Night Out After Work Rooftop Party happening in DC. Y'all, we about to be jamming in DC on the rooftop, okay? July 28th. Go to my website for more information. Make sure you buy your tickets. Tickets are going fast. We do have only a limited amount of space. So make sure that you get in there. Again, July 28th. Ladies Night Out After Work Rooftop Party in DC. Go to my website to get your tickets. It's www.lindadlowe.com. Follow me on social media. Next week, y'all, we have a treat because we're going to have, we're talking about college dating. College dating. That's going to be extremely interesting. So we're going to talk about college dating next week. Make sure you tune into the show. I want to thank you so much for listening this evening. You've been listening to the Linda D. Lowe Show Girl Talk, and I'll see you all next week.
Okay, clear on radio. Still live on Facebook.
Social media on Facebook. Monica.
Monica was like, you hit me up anytime. What's up?
Yes,
Where's Monica
Monica.
at?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, Monica. Let him know.
Look, Monica, you can call me at 240. Anytime.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Her later. I'm like, okay, Monica.
Right. Y'all about to be on the phone with Phil like, let's call him right now. We're going to call him right now.
Wow. You go
man. Thank you all so much. This was fun. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Great.
We had so much fun. Look, now we're going to have a guy in the shot.
Okay.
Look, the guy show isn't until the 14th of October. It's next week.
Okay. Who's in that one?
So I have 2 guys joining me in studio and one on the phone.
Okay.
So Jonathan, you know Fab?
You probably seen him before.
You probably have.
Yeah, his son's from
Brian, can you hit that for me, please? Thank you. All right, you too. Thank you. So yeah, he'll be in studio. I have Cliff. What is Cliff's last name? Crosby, who is a